The hooked model is a four-phase process that you can use to design habit-forming products. Hey everyone, and happy Tuesdays. Today, I'm going to talk about each phase a little bit more in depth and give you an example to see of how it really works. Let's do it. Habits are defined as automatic behaviors triggered by situational cues, things that we do automatically with little to no conscious thought. So here's what the hooked model looks like. There are four hooks to this model. There's trigger, action, rewards, and investment. The more often users run through this cycle, the more likely they are to form habits. Okay, well, why do I need this? Well, companies that make habit-forming products link their product or service to the daily routines and emotions of their users. People are more likely to continuously use products that are linked to their habits. Instead of paying a lot of money for a marketing campaign to get your product out there, people are more likely to just vouch for your product and your service if they use it in their daily routine. Okay, so first we have trigger. Trigger is the actuator of a behavior, a cue. There are two types of triggers as well. There's external and internal. External triggers are outside cues that are embedded with information of what the user should do next. So something like a headline or a call to action. There are different types of external triggers as well. There's paid, there's earned, there's relationship, and there's owned triggers. Paid triggers are pretty self-explanatory. It's a trigger that you pay for, such as an ad. Earned triggers are achieved through work and accomplishment. Things like press release or viral videos or being featured on the App Store. Relationship triggers are basically word of mouth or referrals, like through people that you know. And own triggers are triggers that kind of own a physical space in your environment. So something like an app icon or an email list, something that you physically see. So if a user agrees to see the trigger, then the company technically kind of owns part of your attention. So unlike external triggers, internal triggers come from within. Things like thoughts and emotions that are automatically manifested in your mind. Negative emotions are really powerful triggers that influence our behavior. Emotions such as frustration, loneliness, and boredom are powerful triggers that we actually try to negate through products. Okay, the next phase is action. Action is the behavior done after the trigger. Without action, the trigger is actually useless. When you act, it's also done in anticipation of reward. To initiate action, doing must be easier than thinking. The more physical and mental effort it's required to do something, the less likely it'll happen. So there are a few things that you need to act. So first is a trigger, and second is motivation. You have to have sufficient amount of motivation to do the action. And lastly, you need the ability to actually do and complete the task that is being asked. So you need all three of these things to initiate action. Next up is rewards. In this phase, users are rewarded by completing a task or solving a problem. Rewards are only given after the action has been done. And like triggers and action, rewards can be split up into three categories: the hunt, the tribe, and the self. Rewards for the hunt are rewards associated with the pursuit of information and resources, like searching for the right dress on Pinterest. Rewards for the tribe are rewards associated with connectedness and social validation, like opening up Instagram and seeing how many people commented on your post. Rewards of the self are rewards associated with personal gratification, like reaching a certain level in a game, or even having all your unread emails in your inbox at 0. An important thing to note for rewards is that there needs to be a level of variability to it. Predictable feedback loops don't create desire. So here's an example. If you go to your fridge and you open the door and the fridge light turns on, that isn't interesting. It doesn't motivate you to keep opening and closing the door to open the fridge. But let's say some new different food magically appears every time you open the fridge door. That's interesting. And that would motivate me to open and close my door every time, because every time I open it, something is new in my fridge. The last stage is investment. Investment is the stage that increases the chances that users will make another pass through the cycle. So investment refers to the work or actions done by the user to actually make the experience more enjoyable the next time around. So where rewards give you immediate rewards by completing an action, investment looks at giving you future rewards. Investment can be done by giving your time, your effort, and your money. Something like inviting friends, or building digital assets, or trying to learn your way around the product. Investment is important because people value their own efforts. If I put effort into making X amount of things to put on Instagram, I'm gonna value that a little bit more than someone who doesn't. So the more that someone invests in and values a product or service, the more likely they will use it to routinely solve their problems. People that routinely use the product they're invested in are also less likely to abandon the progress they've made on that product. Okay, so let's try and use Instagram as an example and try and put it all together. Okay, so we're on here on Instagram. We're on desktop because I'm actually recording on my phone right now. So we're gonna have to make do with this. So right away, we have a couple external triggers. Me logging on is an external trigger, but we have external triggers on the right hand side, which prompt me to follow. And the action would be to actually click and hit follow. We also have these Instagram stories up at top, and those are also external cues. And the action that these place would want me to click on them as well. So even loading up the app, I'm also given this reward by following AIGA. I'm rewarded with their post by just opening up the app. So I'm rewarded with other posts that come into my feed. That's more of a social reward. So another an internal trigger for me to actually have Instagram is to question why I wanted a Instagram design account in general, right? So the trigger for me was because I felt that I wanted to share. And then I learned that why do I want to do that? Well, it's because I want to get known. So the emotion of not being known drives me to have this design account. So we can actually go to my profile. So this is essentially the investment stage right here. This is where the investment happens, because every time you post something, whether it's a post, a reel, IGTV, or whatever, you are investing your time and your effort creating that post and posting it on Instagram. So for me, I've spent the time and effort to write these posts just so I can invest in my profile, and by me posting, I can hopefully negate my emotional trigger of not being known. So as you maybe can tell, the more I invest and put my content onto Instagram, the more external triggers will prompt me to act and open the app, which will present me the likes and the comments on my posts and new social rewards, which I can take inspiration from and motivation from and make another post, investing in the app a little bit more. And this goes on and on and on until you get hooked. Well, that's about it, guys. Hopefully this made sense and you found it valuable. Hit that like button down below and let me know which product or service you're currently hooked on in the comments below. That's all I have for you today, and I hope you have a great day. See you guys soon. Peace.